You believe that Kirk Frost had finally learned his lesson, but this guy really went above and above. Nasty, since rumors are circulating that Kirk not only betrayed Rasheeda this time, but also reportedly assaulted her. That's correct, and believe me, the specifics are far more startling than you can fathom. But wait, let's not to act as if we didn't anticipate this. Kirk has been acting shamelessly for years due to infidelity accusations. By the way, Kirk Frost's album is now more poisonous than a love and hip-hop reunion special. However, this is not simply another incident involving cheating. This is the height of contempt, and the most absurd aspect is yes, the whole incident was captured on camera, and there is reportedly a leaked video online that depicts Kirk addressing Rasheeda in a manner that has fans going completely crazy. Twitter's in flames, TikTok is disorganized, and Instagram is now in complete pandemonium. So what truly transpired behind closed doors? Did Kirk genuinely lay hands on Rasheeda? And above all, is this the last straw that will cause Rasheeda to part ways permanently? Oh, I'm about to spill some scorching tea, so you'd best remain locked in. Alright, let's get started since the right now, sweetie. The tea coming from the Frost home is hotter than ever. If you thought Kirk Frost he's beyond his cheating days, so congrats. Play yourself, for rumors have it that Rasheeda just saw Kirk stumbling once again, but this time it's over something far more important than another lady. The streets are already whispering about a full-on altercation that includes a yelling battle and an alleged assault. If you have been following the train disaster that is Kirk and Rasheeda's relationship, allow me to take you back now. As you are well aware, Kirk has been making fun of Rasheeda for years. We are referring to the notorious hot tub scandal, the love child scenario with Jasmine, and of course, the drama surrounding Rasheeda's forced DNA test has supported him throughout several instances of public humiliation, and she really deserves a medal for patience. But it seems that even Rasheeda has her limit, and based on what I've heard, Kirk may have just gone too far, line from which even he is unable to return. So this is what happened last weekend. Kirk and Rasheeda were at a celebrities attend a private event in Atlanta that is some kind of industry gathering where they pose as everyone got along, despite likely disparaging one another on social media over the last week, according to insiders. That Kirk and Rasheeda seemed to be the ideal pair when they first came together, but behind the scenes, things were Kirk was in uncommon form that night, drinking, acting strangely, and becoming quite dirty, according to witnesses. Kirk continues to behave like a single guy during the party, which makes him seem too at ease with some of the ladies. Repeated incidents, but Rasheeda wasn't having it this time. It was said that Sis was looking into Kirk's behavior throughout the night, whispering in his ear to calm him down when he became too friendly. But Kirk, well, wasn't attempting to listen at the moment. This is where things get sticky when Kirk reportedly got into a furious dispute with one of Rasheeda's close friends. According to reports, Rasheeda's buddy confronted Kirk about his actions, calling him embarrassed. In front of everyone, Rasheeda apparently began to raise his voice, and Kirk reportedly would not back down or apologize. According to reports, the situation quickly became uncomfortable, and security even began to approach them because Kirk was being so noisy, and Rasheeda apparently went to Kirk, drew him aside, and advised him to cool down after stepping in, but Kirk, oh no, he was not having it, and here is where things became dangerous once a video was released. Film going viral on social media that shows Kirk and his hurried arrival to the middle of an altercation. Kirk can be seen putting a finger in Rasheeda's face and advancing violently while she attempts to retreat, but Kirk continues shutting the regrettably. The video stops before we get the precise conclusion, but the body language, well, let me just say, is awful. Kirk is out here humiliating Rasheeda once again, and Twitter isn't holding back with the remarks. She should never if Rasheeda forgives him again. I promise I will stop protecting her. Kirk is acting like he's untouchable. Please, someone humble this guy, but wait, things are getting worse. According to those close to the issue, Kirk reportedly placed his hands on Rasheeda in a manner that was frightening but not aggressive, seized Rasheeda's arm as she attempted to leave, at which point two security officers intervened, allegedly drew Kirk away as Rasheeda departed, and Kirk, he was supposedly shouting after her as she went. The incident, and as you are undoubtedly aware, the video became viral on blogs and the internet. Fans were criticizing Kirk for the hours that hashtags like #KirkFrostExposed and #FreeRasheeda were trending on Twitter. His actions, pleading with Rasheeda to finally leave him permanently, and most bizarre of all, Kirk has been absolutely quiet. No public remarks, no social media posts, and you know that Kirk's silence is a sign that he understands he broke up. But Rasheeda, my sister, has been managing everything well. She hasn't spoken out in public, although she did publish fans are going crazy over her mysterious Instagram tale, which just features an image of her hand planting her. Let me share the comments made by those POHST crazy fans beneath the wedding ring with the slogan, "Decisions, decisions," are pleading with Rasheeda to remove the ring and eventually leave Kirk, and even some famous people are taking a look. A reality star said, "Sis, it's time to pick you." This is where things get crazy since insiders are now asserting that Rasheeda has already contacted her attorney and that the matter may become legal. And if that's yes, Kirk may be losing much more than just his wife. I know you're wondering what it means. What specifically was Kirk's issue that evening that triggered him? Rumor has it that this whole outburst wasn't merely regarding Rasheeda checking him, it was about money. It seems that Rasheeda just learned that Kirk has been relocating. Kirk lost it during the party when Rasheeda confronted him about taking money from their joint accounts without alerting her. Now, if that's accurate, Kirk may be facing legal action in addition to the dissolution of his marriage. And if Kirk could be left without anything if Rasheeda freezes their shared assets. But here's the issue, Rasheeda has not yet filed for divorce, which implies that Kirk is most likely already attempting to patch things up behind the scenes. But has Kirk finally gone too far for Rasheeda to forgive him? If so, you'd best remain locked in because, believe me, the fallout from this will be much more devastating than Kirk's, and the narrative is far from done. Oh, you thought that was awful? But no, sweetie, we're just getting started because of that nasty final apology to her. While at the event, Kirk Frost's situation went from bad to completely disastrous, and let me tell you, the fallout from the Rasheeda isn't playing games anymore, so let me pick her up. So the scenario is going to become tough and quickly. Where we left off, as soon as the footage of Kirk shoving Rasheeda began to circulate online. Basically, Kirk was being pulled left and right by exploding fans. But what occurred after the camera stopped? So, did Kirk attempt to resolve the situation? Did Rasheeda ultimately get her belongings and go? And most significantly, is this the end of here? Is what we currently know about Kirk and Rasheeda's relationship after Rasheeda left the event seeming composed, but witnesses claim that Kirk was seen after Rasheeda in the parking lot after becoming enraged and attempting to follow her, shouting her name while attempting to tape her arm. But Rasheeda, my sis, refused to comply and is said to have entered a black SUV, and Kirk, was left standing there looking foolish as he drove away without a word. But now comes the part that's quite juicy since, according to those close to the marriage, Kirk didn't go home that evening. Ended up to Frost's Bistro, the eatery he and Rasheeda co-owned, when he was seen consuming alcohol. Staff apparently attempted to calm him down as he was drinking excessively at the bar. But Kirk, he was on one, according to an insider. Kirk was heard stating, "She's overreacting. I didn't even do anything that bad." Oh, really? Anyhow, you were seen on tape pushing Rasheeda into a corner, holding her, and pointing in her face, elbow when she attempted to leave, but it was unsuccessful. However, things worsened since Kirk reportedly began making some calls that night. And who did he call? Oh, that long-term side lady. Yes, according to insiders, Kirk was saw foaming and texting an unidentified lady, and guess what? That same woman was seen showing up less than an hour later. Frost, here is the bit that will make you scream. The mysterious lady, who is supposedly Jasmine. Yes, Jasmine Washington, the same woman Kirk had a kid with in 2017, the same lady who essentially made Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage a public spectacle. And according to many witnesses, Chine is suddenly back in the picture. That Jasmine entered Frost Bistro's pub, sat down by Kirk, and the two of them were seen having a close conversation. One witness even asserts that Jasmine was talking in Kirk's ear and massaging his shoulder for more than an hour, and Kirk, he was chuckling as if he didn't care at all. Now, since you were just caught on video, let me ask you this. Would you really be spending an hour later with your side woman after insulting your wife in public? Kirk is acting like a guy who doesn't care about the repercussions, and you can imagine what the paparazzi will do next. Confirmed that someone had gotten a tip from the media, and they arrived outside Frost Bistro in time to see Kirk, and the pictures of Jasmine and Kirk going out together are awful. We're talking about Kirk putting his arm around Jasmine, guiding her to this vehicle as Jasmine grinned broadly as if she had won the lottery. By the next morning, the pictures where everyone was spreading the story and the headline "Savage Kirk Frost" throughout the Shade Room TM's Hollywood opened. After the alleged assault on Rasheeda, they were seen together with baby mama Jasmine. Rasheeda, witnessed those images, but here is where things get very complicated since people close to Rasheeda are now saying that she has been meeting with a well-known divorce lawyer, so it seems like Rasheeda is now prepared to take the plunge. And allow me warn you that Kirk should be afraid, as Rasheeda isn't just after Kirk's reputation. She is allegedly going to, if you are familiar with the Frost financial situation, you are aware that Kirk and Rasheeda's empire is essentially connected, and Kirk is now apparently in crisis mode, having allegedly recruited a public relations team to attempt as well as clean up the mess. But let's face it, if Rasheeda files for divorce and reveals Kirk's financial transactions, Kirk could lose everything, but the true issue is whether Rasheeda would follow through on it or not. Will Kirk manage to talk his way out of this situation, as he always does, and will Jasmine really finish speaking, or does she still have more to reveal? If so, you best remain hooked in because the narrative is just getting started. Begin, and believe me, the next part is going to be much messier. You thought we were done, but this isn't it, sweetie. The plot is just becoming hotter since Kirk and Jasmine Rasheeda have been moving in quiet since their catastrophic night out. You already know that you should be alarmed when Rasheeda becomes silent, since rumors are circulating that Kirk may be dealing with unanticipated repercussions. And let me tell you, the fallout from the scenario is going to be disastrous. So let's continue where we left off, because after the release of those images of Kirk and Jasmine, fans were dragging Kirk through the mud. But behind the scenes, things were becoming very ugly. Remember how I said that Rasheeda had been meeting with a well-known divorce lawyer? Well, it's much messier now. It has been verified by several sources that Rasheeda has formally filed for divorce. And this isn't only a cooling off phase. According to sources, and listen, this won't be a clean split. Rasheeda is allegedly intending to go for everything for Bistro Gone, since she isn't just leaving Kirk. The press boutique has left their Atlanta mansion, but that may also be gone because of what Rasheeda possesses. Claimed to have acquired sufficient proof to support the claim that Kirk had been embezzling their shared money for years, about wire transfers to Jasmine, lavish vacations to Miami, pricey diamond purchases, and everything else is funded by their joint accounts, which implies that Kirk isn't just considering the dissolution of his marriage. He may also be examining fraud allegations. But hold on, because things are getting worse. According to reports, Rasheeda isn't the only one attempting to steal Kirk's money, recalling how Jasmine said Kirk had vowed to look after her, has already hired a lawyer, and it is said that she is getting ready to sue Kirk for breach of contract and back child support. According to Jasmine, Kirk promised to support her and their kid financially, and now that things have, she is publicly holding Kirk accountable, and the sum she is requesting, oh honey, this isn't pocket change, roughly six-figure PR year, and you are already aware that Kirk does not have that much money lying around. Possesses Frost Bistro, but let's face it, that doesn't cover Jasmine's request. And if Rasheeda effectively locks their joint assets, so even though Kirk may be destitute, things grow much more complicated since now Jock is becoming interested. Yes, the same Jock who has been Kirk's business partner and long-standing acquaintance been watching Kirk trash his own life from the sidelines, but it seems like the Jock has had enough since sources are claiming that the Jock intends to sever all contact with Kirk, which is a commercial choice rather than just a personal one. Choice since Kirk and Jock are financially connected via a number of business endeavors, such as Frost Bistro and some real estate holdings, and Kirk could have to liquidate if the Jock chooses to leave. Assets to make up for the losses. But wait, because the Jock isn't stopping. Rumor has it that the Jock is also contemplating a lawsuit against Kirk for alleged commercial wrongdoing and breach of trust, since Kirk has been utilizing part of their joint corporate cash to pay for his personal costs, such as those Jasmine-related excursions. And if the Jock chooses to take this, Kirk can lose his freedom in addition to his money if he goes to court. Kirk and Rasheeda has been acting behind the scenes, according to sources, while Kirk is in a downward spiral. That Rasheeda has secured a significant commercial agreement with a leading fashion store that might lead to the opening of a press boutique. Rasheeda may have just converted Kirk's toughest setback into her biggest victory. And let me just say that the internet is giddy about Rasheeda's most recent Instagram snap, which shows her standing in front of her store seeming very bossy with the remarks, "You can't break a woman who built herself." Yeah, they're crazy. Sinus takes him for everything. She's going to be the next Rihanna, so she's finally leaving that guy behind. We've been urging her to break up with him for years, but wait, Kirk hasn't finished humiliating himself yet. Since Kirk allegedly attempted to gain Rasheeda's support via a public stunt, Kirk appeared over the weekend. Witnesses said Kirk was in the press boutique uninvited with his whole entourage and a child-sized bouquet of flowers. Entered the business as if he owned it, gave the flowers to Rasheeda, and began to speak in detail about how he apologized and said he didn't want to upset her. But Rasheeda, oh sister, wasn't pleased, according to an insider. Rasheeda reportedly gave the flowers to one of her employees while standing there staring at Kirk as if he were a complete stranger. Kirk was reportedly standing there when members remarked, "Take these to the back. I'm allergic to baby iconic." Seeming like if he had just been struck by a truck. But Rasheeda, oh, she left Kirk without saying anything more, standing there looking foolish. And the most bizarre part was that there were paparazzi outside. Yes, Kirk's prank was captured on tape, and now the video is becoming viral on social media, and the responses are harsh. Kirk honestly believed the flowers would make things better. Please take away this ELO's foam. He looks so pitiful. Rasheeda deserves a freaking prize for the manner she handled this, and Kirk has since formally disappeared, posting nothing on Instagram, doing no interviews, and doing nothing because, really, what? Will he even admit that he was publicly humiliated after being discovered cheating, and that his wife is going to blame him for everything? The worst thing is that Jasmine is still talking about him since she allegedly delivered a bombshell in a recent interview, asserting that Kirk may have further children that the public is unaware of. Yes, Jasmine is making a suggestion that with 3 separate women, Kirk has not 1, not 2, but 3 side kids. If that proves to be, this is the part that will make you scream since insiders are now aware that Kirk's whole reputation has been destroyed. Stating that, should it be approved, Rasheeda has formally requested that Kirk be removed from their joint company agreement. Kirk's ownership of Frost Bistro Press Boutique and its real estate holdings will be terminated. Kirk may not just be. Kirk has been acting carelessly for years, and now the money is so bad that he may be homeless. The repercussions are coming up to him in real time, while the true query is, this is indeed Kirk and Rasheeda's demise. Or will Kirk attempt to execute some Rasheeda-backed last-minute stunt to win? And more crucially, is Jasmine finished speaking, or is she going to say anything else? Revelation that may put Kirk's career in jeopardy? Oh, he best remain locked in for good, due to the fact that the plot is far from above.